Welcome to Fierce Fit Feminine and Other F Words, a place where women in business come to learn more about health, beauty, body language, and communication. That's a lot. I'm Christine Brunelli, chiropractor and former beauty salon owner turned certified image consultant and business coach, helping you glow from the inside out so that you make an outstanding first impression and captivate your audience with ease. And today we're going to talk about the communication piece in terms of social media. Are you on social media, and which platform is the best one to be on? Well, this is a very big topic. It's very specific to you, and I have a lot to share. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Okay, my friend, I don't know how old you are. I'm in my 50s. I joined Facebook 100 years ago. Well, more like 2008. I don't know, a long time ago. That was my real first experience with social media. But before Facebook, MySpace back in the day was the place to be. But most of the people that were using MySpace were using it for music sharing. It wasn't a platform where you were sharing like pictures of your grandchildren or your kids or anything like that. It was mostly music platform. Facebook came on the scene and they took over. I mean, early days, they really did take over. And as you already know, Facebook owns, well, it's not Facebook anymore, it's Meta, also owns Instagram. You already know that. We have so many. We have TikTok, we have Snapchat, we have Pinterest, we have YouTube, which is really not social media, but I'm going to clump it in that kind of category. And now in 2023, they're talking about banning TikTok in the US at least. And so people have moved into this app called Clapper and another one called Lemonade. I mean, there are so many and you can't keep up with it. And that's the first thing out of the gate I want you to know. What works for social media right now in business probably won't work in 6 months. It is so fluid. It changes. Algorithms change, people change, like your business might change. So what I tell you today in this episode might not be relevant in 6 months, but for right now, this is going to air in, let's say, April 2023. For right now, this is going to be accurate information. Hold that thought on changing social media. I'll get back to it. I don't know if you realize this, but I am the camera confidence queen. That's what I call myself on Instagram. I'm a camera confidence coach. Now, I do that through helping female entrepreneurs and women in business look and feel fabulous, because a lot of us don't feel confident on camera because we don't like how we look, we don't like how we sound, and we have no idea how to use lighting and camera angles and all those things. And so that's where I come in. I help you do that. I don't specify one specific platform. Like today, we're talking about all platforms. I help you know how to use the tech, use the equipment, and use makeup and body language and how to direct your eyes with the camera to communicate with your audience so that you look polished, professional, poised, and connect with your audience and captivate them with ease. And on May 1st, for 3 days, I have a free 3-day camera confidence challenge. We are going to meet for 1 hour a day. We have a private community. I'm going to teach you all the tips, tricks, and all the ins and outs of how to look great in photos, how to do videos, how to engage the camera lens with video so that you can put out an Instagram reel, or you can put out a Facebook reel, or a TikTok, or just a Zoom video, whatever it is, so that you can increase your visibility in your business and attract your audience. This is completely free. I would love to have you there. I would love to have anyone from my podcast to show up and say hi to me, because then I would get to know you and see your face. The link to this free 3-day camera confidence challenge is in the show notes. You can tap it and enroll right now while you're listening. So go tap that link. I would love to see you there. Now that we've established social media is fluid and can change, you know, if you are listening to this episode in 2024, some of the information may not be accurate any longer. But I'm going to keep a lot of it pretty general, because this next thing I'm going to tell you will be accurate 100%. The very first thing you need to decide is, which platform are you committing to? I am not a fan of trying to be a jack of all trades and show up on all platforms. One, you spread yourself too thin. And I'm going to teach you how you can share one post to multiple platforms if you don't know already. But is your audience on all those platforms? You don't need to cast a wide net. You need to figure out where they are. The people that you want to reach for your office, reach for your beauty salon. If you want to reach them and bring them to your beauty salon, if you want to bring them into your private practice, bring them into your online coaching space, whatever it is, it could be a bed and breakfast, wherever it is that they hang out, that's the platform you need to focus on. And it's not always the platform you enjoy. So that's hard because you may have to get used to learning a brand new platform. You have to figure it out. So how do you figure it out? Well, you need to start asking your clientele, asking the people that you already work with. Send out a questionnaire. Which social media do you hang out on the most? Where do you go to look for XYZ? For example, when I owned my beauty salon, I would say, where do you go for hair inspiration photos? And where do you go for makeup inspiration photos? Hair and makeup both, heavy on Instagram and then Pinterest. Most of them would use YouTube if they were trying to learn like DIY, but not inspo. So if they're looking for inspiration, like I'm going to this special event and I'm going to have a dress with a V-neck and I don't know how to wear my hair, I'm going to do a search and figure out hairstyles for an open back V-neck dress. And they'll literally search those kind of things inside. I found out for my beauty salon, my clientele, they were using Instagram and Pinterest. Maybe your business is different. You need to find out where they're hanging out. Now, that same group of my beauty salon, if they were doing their own hair and their own makeup, that's when they went to YouTube. YouTube and Pinterest are search engines. They are not social media. Don't even think that social media. They may as well be a Google. That's what they are. They are a powerhouse search engine. You can find how to do just about anything on YouTube. It's actually kind of scary when I think of some of the things that are out there on that platform, but you can. Now, maybe you are a teacher. Maybe you teach language. Maybe you want to produce a digital course in how to teach Spanish, right? And you want to sell this course. Your ideal audience might be on YouTube because they're already there trying to learn Spanish. But you won't know until you ask. So you're going to need to do a little background. Where are they hanging out? That is the platform where you're going to spend the most time. Now, these are generalizations. It could be different for your audience, but in general, Facebook is an older crowd. Facebook is very difficult to reach for a lot of business people that have younger businesses, more youthful businesses. That's not where youth are hanging out, right? You already know that. You see a lot of older people on there and they don't understand. They don't go to new platforms because it's hard for them. They're not tech savvy enough. They learned Facebook. That's enough for them. They don't want to learn anymore. And so if your target audience is, I'm going to pick a number, 45 and up, Facebook might be a place to look for them, but guaranteed they're there if they're 55 and up. I can promise you that they are probably there. Now, when you get in the 40s, some of those people are on Instagram. 50s and 60s, unless they're tech savvy, they probably aren't. It's just what they got used to and what they learned. So Facebook is generally an older crowd. And then you can get a younger crowd on TikTok. But guess what? April 2023, TikTok just announced that they had a 16% increase in brand new users who were baby boomers. My girl, I love TikTok, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute. But if you're not using TikTok for your business, you could be missing out. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. But first, let's go back to this age thing. So don't rule out TikTok. I don't want you to rule it out. So Facebook is probably going to be an older crowd. Instagram, kind of younger to middle age crowd, not the older crowd. And my kids are in their 20s. And you know what's interesting? They both use TikTok, but Snapchat was really big when they were in high school, and they still use it. Millennials still use Snapchat. Now, Snapchat's really difficult to build business on right now, in my opinion. But if your target audience is on Snapchat, maybe that's something you could use, like even Snapchat filters, like all of that, all of the little nuances to each platform if your target audience is hanging out on that platform, it's going to speak to them because they're going to see it and go, oh, this person gets me. Now, let's talk about the differences between Instagram and TikTok. Instagram and TikTok have different algorithms. So if you are not using one or the other, or you're not on either of them, I'll explain this to you. Instagram shows you content of people you follow. TikTok shows you content that you interact with. So if this is a personal use thing, I just want you to know, because once you understand that, you'll understand how to use it for your business. Instagram only shows, well, I'm not going to say only, they favor showing you content of everyone that you follow. No matter what you like. If you liked a cooking video on Instagram, just random that popped up, you're not necessarily going to get inundated with a bunch of cooking videos. You're going to see more videos of people that you already follow. On TikTok, you don't always see your followers. You see what content you interact with. So if I like a cooking video on TikTok, the algorithm on TikTok goes, oh, this person, this user, she likes cooking videos. Let's blast her feed with cooking videos. So it's very content driven with what you interact with. When I say interact, what I mean is what you like and what you comment on and what you save and what you share. Same thing on Instagram. What you like, what you comment on, what you save, and what you share is important, but not as important as it is on TikTok. And the algorithms are artificial intelligence. AI it drives the algorithms, and it's learning you. It's learning your behavior. You already know this. When you just use any of your social media platforms, they already send you ads, right? Or they know what you're looking at, and you're like, gosh, they're spying on me. Actually, this is a really funny story. I sent a message in a private DM to my sister, and in Instagram, and there was just a guy that she was like, who is that? It was somebody that I had shared a story, like an Instagram story with. And he's somebody that is a hairstylist that I've known for several years. And he's wonderful, wonderful. Love this person. And she was like, he's beautiful. And, she was just kind of like, well, who's that? And I messaged, I said, no, I know he's great. And she's like, well, tell me more. Like she was hinting at, are you interested? And I'm like, no, he's gay. And, big deal. So what? That was not even an issue. But what was interesting is Instagram read my message, read the word gay in a private DM, and gave my sister a warning to make sure that we are having an inclusive conversation. Huh? What do you think about that? Now, I'm already inclusive. This person's a friend of mine. It's not anything that's just a descriptive. He calls himself gay. I don't know why the algorithm thinks that's a trigger word, but for some reason it does. So it is all algorithm generated. There's not a person there reading your messages. It's an algorithm that's trained to understand English, and it's reading things in context. It's really interesting. So these same algorithms are being trained to show you content and show your followers content. So now I want you to think about which platform your followers that you want to attract are hanging out on, and then decide, okay, so if it's in Instagram where it's follower driven, or TikTok where it's content driven, how do I work that platform to reach my audience? Do you see what I'm saying? You kind of have to understand how that works. So in the case of Instagram, if let's say your followers are there, then what you want to do is start following accounts that are similar to what you teach or what you do for a living. And when you do, you can start commenting under the accounts. And nothing like, hey, come follow my page, but maybe something supportive or something else you've observed, or like, this is a great post. I talk about this all the time. Thanks for sharing. And what happens is that person's already doing what you want to do. They already have an audience that you want to attract, and the people see your comment and they click on your profile and they say, she's in the same space, and you attract that follower. See how that works? Now, kind of the same thing can happen on TikTok, but on TikTok, it's so easy right now still. It's the easiest place to grow a following. I mean, lightning speed, it's easy. So if you go over there and you start putting out great content, and we're going to talk about what kind of content in just a second, you'll start to gain traction and attract your followers. And it has something called a For You page that it defaults to. So when you're on this platform, it's showing you all these different creators and all of this different information. Whatever you interact with is what is going to be in your regular feed. So they automatically push new new accounts. So when you have a TikTok account that's brand new, they throw you out there to the wolves and they show it to everybody. That's why you grow so fast. Okay. And before I go into what to post on these different platforms, I want to say one thing right now. This is true. I don't know if it's going to be true 6 months from now. Statistically, you grow your following on TikTok easier than Instagram, but you make more money on Instagram. Does that make sense? So Instagram is the place where people are really spending their money. If you have a link to sign up for something, if you are, if you have like a scheduling button, if like my beauty salon has a button in the profile where you could book your hair appointments, right? People use Instagram for that. For TikTok, they're not doing that so much. They're getting exposed to people that they want to work with on TikTok. And then most people are having success moving their TikTok followers over to Instagram, but you don't have to do that. It's just because once they're on Instagram, they're having more success enrolling them in their programs. So it's just a little interesting way of looking at things. Facebook, you probably are really familiar with Facebook. That's why I'm not speaking about it too much. Biggest thing for Facebook that I would want you to know is that Facebook groups, private communities, are a hot spot for different topics, right? So if you are someone who works with pregnant women and you want to create a private group where you can share free content with people, create a Facebook group with free content for women that are pregnant. So you can name it whatever you want, and then you have your own spot. It doesn't show up in anybody's Facebook feed. They have to actually go to your group to see the content, but people really do enjoy that. Some people are getting fatigued with those groups, but it's still the best place. People have experimented. I follow a lot of people that are social media gurus who have tried to take their private communities, like Facebook groups, off of the Facebook platform because they got tired of it. And they moved it onto other platforms. There's one called Circle. There's all different kinds. And their engagement fell off. People are naturally on Facebook. That's where they might not like it, but that's where they're going. So it's easier to foster a community and grow a community, private community, in a private Facebook group. You might be able to do it somewhere else, but you're going to really have to train your audience because they're not there yet. They are on Facebook. And then as far as sharing on Facebook, I have a business coach right now who used to teach Instagram to people to monetize their Instagram accounts. And I met with her just recently, and she said to me, if you're going to use Facebook for anything, use your personal page for your business, because the algorithm on Facebook, the business pages don't get any reach. People don't see it. Doesn't get enough eyeballs because Facebook wants you to spend advertising money to get in front of eyeballs. And I knew that from even in my chiropractic practice, it was like that. My beauty salon was definitely like that. And now it's 100% that way. And she was just reinforcing it, saying, whatever you want to promote, you can put it on your business page on Facebook, but you definitely want to use your personal page and set the privacy to public. And that way people can share it, because maybe your personal page is a bunch of friends and family, and they don't really have any interest in your business, but they have an interest in you. So they may share it. They may share your post if you set it to public, and they might know somebody that wants to work or would be interested in working in whatever field you're in. So if it's Facebook, use your personal page as much as you can. without blasting them. Obviously, if you are somebody that posts every single day or more than once a day, people unfollow you. They don't unfriend you, they unfollow you. You knew that, right? I hope I didn't spill the beans on something new. But yes, like there's people that get into like, what are they? The essential oils, and they go bananas. They've never had a business in their life. They fell in love with these oils, and now they want everybody in the world to buy these oils. And all they talk about is these oils on their personal Facebook page. And all those people aren't interested in their oils that much. They might want to see one post every now and then about the oils, and they'll remember, oh, she's into oils. So if they ever want to get an oil, they might go back to her. But when you do it constantly, if they're not interested, they're going to unfollow. And that is on a personal profile. If you have a business page or a business Instagram account or a business TikTok account, people already are following you because of what you do. So now let's talk about optimizing your bio, because now we know we're going to pick a platform wherever your audience is hanging out. You're going to narrow it down. I would say out of all the platforms, choose 2. Don't do more than 2. I mean, you can, but focus on 2 because you need to get connected with the people that are following you and build relationships with them. Think about it in the real world, right? This is online world, but compare it to real world. You can't go to every single place in your town where people are hanging out and really connect because you're going to get spread too thin. You can't be all places at all times. You want to have a concentrated effort in a couple places where people get to know you. And the more they get to know you and they know what you do, even if they don't want to work with you, they will say, hey, I know somebody that does that. And they'll refer you. Or, hey, I know somebody that has this amazing Airbnb, and they'll send your information. See how that works? Same thing online. The same thing happens online. Okay, so now let's talk about optimizing your bio. Now that you have an idea of where you're going to spend your time and you already might know where your audience is your profile or your bio on the platform optimized for your business? It needs to be. You need to have statements of what you do, like, I help this person overcome this thing so that they can whatever. Or maybe you're a dentist and maybe you're known for pain-free dentistry or gentle dentistry, or maybe you are an Airbnb specialist, right? Whatever it is, it needs to be in your bio somewhere. And then you need to have links wherever they can find you. If you have a website or if you have a freebie that you give away so that people can, learn from you more, or contact information, give them as much as possible. And I resisted this next one so hard. I'm telling you, I didn't do this until about a year ago, just so you know. So I'm only a few steps ahead of you in this part. Use the banner if you're on Facebook, even if that's not your platform where your audience hangs out. Create a banner on your Facebook picture, like you have a little circle picture, that's your headshot. The cover photo, make it be about your business. Just do it. Because what happens is if you do comment on something and you pique interest on someone, they'll click on your bio, then they'll read your banner. They'll read your cover photo and they'll go, oh, she's into that. And they'll start stalking you a little bit. So you definitely want to optimize that profile. Say what you do. Who do you serve? How do you help them? Why do you do it? Where can they learn more information? Can they book a free call with you? Can they book an appointment for your business? Whatever, put it all right there. No matter where you are, you need to do that. Even if you have to open up a second Instagram account or a second TikTok account, if you're really shut down to, I don't want my Instagram to be like blasted everywhere. Okay, then open a new one. Keep the other one private and open a new one. But you're going to need to share some personal stuff on that new one, just a little bit. I'm not as good at that as I should be. I should be better at it, but people really want to know more about your personal life. So you can be choosy on what you share, but optimize that bio. Okay, so now what are we going to talk about? What are we going to share? What are we going to post on these platforms? Well, there are so many different gurus out there with different strategies. I follow Jenna Kutcher. I don't know if you're familiar with her. She is a girl that started with a camera and a photography business, and she became known as the Pinterest and Instagram guru. And she calls the JK5, the Jenna Kutcher 5. She has 5 pillars that you post, like on Instagram, for example. Other people say there are 3 pillars. Everybody has a different take. So you need to decide, what kind of strategy are you going to use when you share on whatever platform you choose. But no matter what, however you decide to, like on Monday I post this, Tuesday I post this, Wednesday I post this. That's what I mean, like what you're going to post. No matter what, every post needs to fall in one of these 3 categories. Your content needs to be growth, nurture, and sales. Growth is any post that would grow your audience. That post can be a static post or it could be a video. So right now, for example, Instagram Reels went crazy because TikTok was gaining so much traction. Instagram tried to keep up and they started promoting videos. Now they say, we're not a video platform anymore, so we're going to focus back on photos. Hallelujah, by the way. I love Instagram when they were photo focused because the pictures were so beautiful, right? But now it's whether you do a reel or a photo or whatever you decide to post, if you want to grow your account, choose a topic that will help grow it. And normally, topics that help grow accounts are entertaining, just flat out entertaining. They have nothing to do with anything. And that might be uncomfortable for some people, and you don't have to do it. Or they're controversial. You say something what's very polarizing, and it's something you really believe in. You stand on it, and you're going to attract the people that agree with you, and you're going to repel the people that don't. And don't be afraid of that, because if you really feel strongly about something, you probably don't want to work with those people anyway, right? You want to attract the ideal audience. So growth content definitely needs to be there. Nurture content are things that teach and help them, support them. So they're following you for a reason, whatever your business is. And this can happen even if you're selling hula hoops, okay? Nurture content could be, don't worry if you can't do this for 5 minutes yet, you can get there. It's something like that, right? It's encouraging, or it's maybe a little teaching, something that will keep them going and help them stay interested in your product. Or if it's a space like an Airbnb or a bed and breakfast that you have, nurture content would be, we're waiting for you. We'll keep the light on. Do you see what I mean? But the growth content is, check out the sunset from this patio. That would attract people going, whoa, what patio is that? Where is it? I want to find it. You see the difference? Okay. And the third content is sales content. If you are not selling your sliding, you should be inviting people to your service all the time. Now, not every single post needs to be a sales post. It doesn't, because growth posts and nurture posts will sell for you, because they're coming to you because of them. But you still have to have posts where you're saying, hey, I have this thing and I think it might help you, or you might enjoy it, or I can help you. I'm going to invite you here. If you would be interested, here's the link on how to do it, or send me a message. I would love to talk to you further. That's selling. It doesn't have to be sleazy, cheesy, slimeball-y. But even today in this podcast episode, I invited you to a free 3-day camera confidence challenge. That's selling. I'm just inviting you. It's an invitation. And I feel, for me personally, I don't see sales as sales. I see it as service, because what I do, I would probably do for free. I love it so much. I love to serve. I love to help people, well, specifically female entrepreneurs and women in business. I love to help them feel more beautiful. because I really see power when a woman feels more beautiful. She engages the world around her with more confidence. I say this all the time. She sets better boundaries. She's more decisive. She's in her power. And so I serve for that. I love that. So when I invite people to work with me, that's my underlying message. It's not like, this is 1999. I don't do that. I speak more to, the selling is more to, hey, I can help you do this and I can help you look and feel fabulous. And I'm going to do this for free, May 1st through 3rd. It doesn't have to be any more than that, but you need to sell. So growth, nurture, and sales content. That is the content that you want to have on whichever platform that you choose. And I want to wrap up with this. How much personal information you share on your business platforms is up to you. Don't let anyone strong arm you into saying you have to do this many private posts. You have to show your kids. You have to show this and show. No, you don't. You show what you're comfortable showing, but try to show something personal. Something. Doesn't have to be very, vulnerable, but something, because that helps them get to know you as a person, not just a business. And the next thing is, don't look at vanity metrics. Don't compare yourself to anyone. I have under 800 Instagram followers, but that doesn't mean my Instagram is not making money for me. There are people that have 1 million TikTok followers that have not made a dime on their TikTok. They're attention seekers, right? They don't know how to monetize it. You can't look at the numbers of what people have for followers. That does not equate what's in their bank account. Don't buy it. There's also people that don't post every day that are in the 6-figure business because they don't need to post every day. So don't try to model someone else. Don't compare to someone else. Do you. Work on you, work on your messaging, work on getting to know who you're talking to so that you know what to share to help them improve whatever it is or come to you, however it is that you are in business and that you can reach them. Work on getting to know them more and sharing content that will want them coming back for more. You want them coming for the content, staying for the captions, right? I want to read what she has to say. And the final thing I want to talk about is hashtags. Oh my gosh, hashtags. It used to be for Instagram, you had to have 30 hashtags. And hashtags are really just, let's just say we do a hashtag Seattle. Someone might be following hashtag Seattle. So if they're on Instagram, they'll see every post that has hashtag Seattle in their feed, or it could be hashtag great hair. And it's just people that like to follow that hashtag, so they see it. That also works on Facebook. It also is on TikTok, but hashtags are not as important anymore as they used to be. In fact, I am learning now that on Instagram, the algorithm, the AI that's reading our content, also sees that if we use the same hashtags all the time, they start to think it's spammy and that you're a bot and not a real person. And I've noticed, because I see people that have a lot of engagement with a lot of people that are commenting to the tune of thousands commenting under their posts. And yes, they have big followings, but they're using 0 hashtags. 0. So experiment with hashtags and, you make them direct and relevant to what you're posting, but also try one post without and see what happens. Don't get too hung up on it. I don't think it's going to matter as much because the algorithms now are just really focusing on how the users want to see content. They're not paying attention to those hashtags as much as they used to. Okay, that's a wrap for this episode. This overview was just that, just an overview to get you thinking, where should I be spending time online to build my business? Because my girl, if you're a woman in business, a woman in leadership, a licensed professional, and you want to increase your bottom line, want to help more people, online is free. It's free right there for you to use. So there is no reason that you shouldn't be showing up and reaching your audience, nurturing your audience, and inviting them to work with you. And if you need more confidence to help get yourself there, go tap the link in my bio and I'll meet you on May 1st. Thank you for listening. And remember, have a fierce, fit, feminine, and fabulous day.